Of course, we start the stream and the camera is already out of focus, but it's back. Back. What's going on? What is going on, fellas, ladies, gentlemen? How are we doing tonight on this luxurious evening? We did get some important news. Vita Vea is out. And then Tyreek is in. So that is a positive. That is a big positive. What's up? What's good, baby? Good. Got the candle going in the background. Getting a little seductive tonight, I guess. Oh, man. What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday. Make sure you guys leave a like on your way into the stream. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. All right. All right. Spock is going to be Google Sports Overnight America. And there should be a link for listening nationwide. I probably won't be on the air, just hanging out in the studio. Okay. I feel that. I will try and tune in. I'm going to the bar to watch the game, but I'll throw you in my earbuds. AirPods. That's the correct term there. Oh, man. Let's have a stream today. Obviously, the beginning of the stream, I always don't really start by answering a million questions. Just try to make sure everyone's having a good day. And then we're going to get on into things. I got to... what's up, Real Slick Rick? How you doing, man? I'm doing great. Nick, tell me where Derrick Henry is going. Probably the Ravens. Love the ambiance. Yeah, it's nice and ambient here. It's looking good. It's a vibe right now. All right. There's also been a rumor that Derrick Henry's going to the Bills. I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't say it's impossible. But I don't think that's going to end up happening. Personally, I do not think that he's going to end up on the Buffalo Bills. Bills or Tampa tonight? Who y'all got? That's a good question. Who do you guys got? I think the spread being so heavy for the Bills definitely scares me. I think the Bills will win, but I think it's going to end up being a closer game. Now, the problem as to why I wouldn't just bet my mortgage on the Buccaneers is because of the fact that there is still a chance that, like, the Bills, I know they've been struggling. They've been flopping like a fish out of water. They just come out alive. They come out on fire, and they just wipe the floor with the Bucs, which I think is possible. But ultimately, I think the Bills win, but slightly. I don't think this will end up being an ass whooping. But again, with how bad the Bills have been, you kind of have to think that they're going to start to come alive eventually, or maybe they're just bad, which is also possible, right? It is very possible that the Bills just stink. And we kind of just overhyped them. They're dealing with a million injuries. So that's just kind of how that shit goes. Smash that like button. Yeah, smash that like button like it owes you money. Smash like. What's up, Nick? What's up, Dave? Tajay Spears a good pickup if Henry's traded. Agreed. You might want to if Spears is available in your league and you have an extra spot. Just pick him up now before you have to pay that pretty penny in a couple of days if he does end up getting traded. I believe the trade deadline is either on Monday or Tuesday, something like that. Henry to the Browns or Ravens? I don't think he's going to go to the Browns, if I'm being honest with you. I definitely could see the Ravens. How is chat doing? That's a good question, chat. Make sure, hopefully everyone chat's doing well. Darian's got Tampa. That's not a crazy thing to say. Not a crazy thing to say. Yo, Nick, start Walker, Brees, or Gibbs this week. Have 3 other lines in my lineup if that matters. I would play Gibbs. But since you have so many other Lions, I would play Brees. I have Tajay Spears, so I wouldn't be mad about it. Yeah, if you have Spears, you're in a good position. Start/sit Burrow or Cousins. I would go Cousins. I like Burrow a decent amount this week, but I just think I just think Cousins has a much safer matchup, and he's just a safer quarterback at this point. I think the Bengals coming out of the bye are going to be on fire, right? This is going to be the best we've seen the Bengals all season. But again, am I saying that with like puffing my chest out with a whole lot of confidence? The answer to that would be no. Foreman or Gus Bus? Definitely would go with Foreman. Fall, thank you for the super chat. Who should I look to get for Devonta plus Kittle / Kincaid? Also, would you trade Palmer for Rachaad White? All right. My best thing, or the thing I say about Rachaad White all the time, is still holding true right now in week 8. I would 100% trade Palmer for Rachaad White because Palmer is pretty hit or miss weekly. He's probably a guy that's going to get you like 8 points plus every week. Rachaad White is very boomer bust. I will give it to him because I say that every single week. He's very boomer bust. But there is a lot to be said about how when the Bucs are in these non-terrible matchups, right? When the Bucs are going up against these huge defenses, the best defenses in the NFL, Rachaad White struggles. But when they're going up against better or worse defenses, Rachaad White's normally eaten. So I would definitely trade Palmer for Rachaad White. And then who should I look to get for Devonta plus George Kittle or Kincaid? That's a great question. So I'm going to just go ahead and look at some of the like where players are right now based upon where they're at in the season and then kind of give you some names. Now, Devonta Smith is kind of ice cold at this point, but I do still think Devonta Smith has a lot of value due to the fact that a lot of people are kind of thinking, a lot of people still think about players from like the offseason, right? How we were all super high on Devonta Smith. Now, there were some analysts less high on Devonta Smith, but I personally was pretty high on Devonta Smith. So guys I would look to trade Devonta and Kittle for would be guys like Etienne, guys like, let's see here. I don't know if I would probably, like Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I also think if you're talking to someone who's kind of down bad, you might be able to kind of maneuver a Kincaid or a Kittle plus another piece to get a guy like Adam Thielen, because I think a lot of people right now, Adam Thielen's price, if you're trying to trade for him, still isn't correct. Again, do I think that Adam Thielen is going to continue to put up this monstrous season? The answer to that would be probably not. But at the end of the day, Bryce Young is still going to continue to feed Adam Thielen the ball. So I'd look to do like maybe Kincaid and another piece and try to get Adam Thielen. I love Keenan Allen. I think you could probably get Keenan Allen for Devontae / Kittle. I think you definitely can't get Tyreek Hill. Amon-Ra St. Brown is an interesting piece as well. So one of those guys, I think a package of Devonta plus Kittle will probably get you any player that you want outside of like the guys that are head honcho. So like Devonta plus Kittle probably won't be able to get you Kelsey. Devonta plus Kittle won't get you McCaffrey. It could get you Etienne. I don't think it's going to get you Eckler. I don't think it's going to get you Tyreek. I don't think it's going to get you like the upper echelon in any position. But if you throw it out there, you could definitely get Devontae. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think a lot of people are just nervous about Devontae right now. I am a little bit as well, but I think you can basically make that work for any player you want, unless that player is, again, like on top of, like, you're not going to be able to trade. You might be able to trade for Mahomes, but like you're not going to be able to get McCaffrey or Hill or whoever you have at the top of the wide receiver core. And a guy to look to get right now. Now, I haven't made a video on trade targets yet this season, maybe next week, but Devin A-Chain right now is the time to get him. Devin A-Chain, I don't think you're going to be able to get Jamar either, but maybe with how Jamar has been kind of hot or cold, but I think Devin A-Chain's a guy you need to go try and get right now because he's still kind of a couple weeks out from coming back. But I think when he comes back, he's going to get back in that role. And the Dolphins' schedule is really good. So I really think A-Chain's going to have a pretty big end to the season. Big Joe, what's going on? 49ers thank you for the super chat, 49ers or Dolphins defense. Now, Brock Purdy might end up playing. Now, I know Brock Purdy doesn't play defense, but I think it's much more likely that the offense of the 49ers is able to stay on the field for significantly longer if Brock Purdy is in compared to mono man Sam Darnold. So I think that does help out the defense. Ultimately, I will lean with the Dolphins. I don't think the Patriots are just going to get steamrolled here by the Dolphins. I think it will end up being a bit of a closer game. I'm surprised the spread is so high. I've been kind of talking about that all week as well. But ultimately, the Dolphins defense looked a lot better. Last week, the Dolphins defense was getting to the quarterback, and they are wearing the throwback unis, which give them an extra boost, an extra oomph. And maybe Jalen Ramsey ends up playing this week. We shall see. So Dolphins defense, and then DJ Moore, Palmer, or Rice. This is a great question. So personally, I would play DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore probably has the lowest floor out of this group because Tyson Bagent isn't the best quarterback on earth. We all know that. Bagent is going to throw the ball to him enough to where he's going to be fine to start, but DJ Moore's not going to have that huge game until Justin Fields is back, in my opinion. So my, gun to the head type of scenario, right? You got to pick one. I'd go wiki DJ Moore, but if you wanted a more safer option, I think Rashee Rice would be that. But personally, I would play DJ Moore, and I'm definitely playing the Dolphins defense. Adams or JT rest of the season? I'd rather have Adams over JT this season. Citrus Blade, what's up, my man? Play Roschon, Aaron Jones, Godwin, Michael Thomas need to. Now, I definitely think with Roschon back, he's going to be clearly the running back 2 on the team, but Donta Foreman has very evidently earned his role on this offense. Now, I'm still pretty unsure about how smart Eberflus is, the head coach of the Bears. I don't think he's very smart, but I would be hard-pressed to believe that Roschon, coming off of an injury for the last 2 weeks, and has just been like a spark every once in a while, like I'd be hard-pressed to believe that they don't just go all steam ahead with Foreman. Obviously, you're going to see Roschon mix in, but it's going to be mostly Foreman, so I'm not playing Roschon. Aaron Jones, Michael Thomas, Godwin need to. I would play Aaron Jones and Chris Godwin. Like Chris Godwin tonight, a decent amount, and I think Aaron Jones' touches are going to continue to be ramped up. Now, I'm not ready to kind of give him the metaphorical gawk 9,000 and talk him up to a point where he's like a top 5 running back, like I think he has the upside to be, until those touches really get ramped up. So Godwin and Jones for me. Brian, thank you for the super chat. Trade Amon-Ra for Kamara and Sutton. Need a running back deep at wide receiver. That's a great question. I think Kincaid's going to have a pretty solid night for anyone who's been asking. So this is a good question. Because if you're deep at wide receiver, Amon-Ra for Kamara isn't that crazy of a trade. Now, I get that the Saints offense as a whole, Derek Carr isn't very good. Now, if you're someone who doesn't watch every game, I don't expect everyone to fucking sit there on the couch for 7 hours like I do, watch every single game, right? You look at the stats at the end of every week, and Derek Carr actually doesn't look that bad. Like, if you're just looking at the stats, if you don't actually watch the game, you'd be like, oh, he's decent every week. It's the exact opposite. He might finish with 300 yards and a touchdown and an interception, but if you watch the game, it's a fucking roller coaster ride. But with that said, he has thrown over, I believe, 13 targets twice to Kamara. I would do, if you're deep at wide receiver, I'd do Amon-Ra for Kamara straight up. So the fact that you're getting Sutton, who is Russell Wilson's number 1 receiver, again, it's not like you're clamoring to Sutton every single week, but Sutton's pretty good. So I would definitely do that trade and get Kamara and Sutton. I think that makes a lot of sense if you needed a running back. So I think that's a pretty solid trade. Next up, we got Jack. Jack says, start Godwin or James Cook. That's a good one. That is a good one. I have a bad pimple on my head. I look like, I don't even know. No bueno. I started trying to use this skin shit more because I have like kind of bad skin. I don't know if you guys can tell on the camera, but started using it and then I just got a fat pimple on my head. But it is what it is. No one gives a fuck. We're talking about fantasy here. I don't need to give you guys my whole spiel, my life spiel. So Godwin versus James Cook. I would definitely go James Cook. Now, I don't think that means that Chris Godwin is a bad play by any means. But I think James Cook's significantly safer. We've seen pretty solid games from Cook. He needs to find pay dirt. He needs to score that touchdown, but without Damian Harris, I think it's much more likely. We saw even when the Bills were getting kind of spit roasted over the last couple of weeks, James Cook has kind of been able to tread water and play quite decently. Godwin has been a bit more consistent as of recently, but if you look at the season as a whole, he has been basically the opposite of consistent. I would go with James Cook personally. And yeah, Bagent, he's sounds like, what is that fucking word? Baguette. Zeke the Don. I traded Kupp and Kenneth Walker for Keenan and Brees. Dub? ? This is a rare trade where I wouldn't say it's a W or an L. This is one of those trades where it's pretty even Stevens, right? I don't think you took that guy out back and you did him dirty, but I also don't think he did that to you. It really feels like a pretty even trade. Now, with how the Seattle offense has looked and how Kenneth Walker's played this season, I definitely like the upside more of Breece Hall weekly. And I like Keenan most weeks more than Kupp without Mike Williams. So I would say you got the slight edge in that trade. I don't think you dominated this guy 50 Shades of Grey style or the gal that you traded with, but I don't think that anyone really got fleeced here. But I would say I'd prefer Keenan and Breece just ever so slightly. Again, not by a wide margin, not by a large margin, just ever so slightly. And again, I do definitely lean that way. But again, I think that's a good trade. And if the Jets continue to just steamroll teams by playing great defense and running the rock a lot, we're going to see a lot of huge games out of Breece Hall, as long as the games don't have to be in Zach Wilson's hands where, you know, Zach Wilson is making stupid fucking interceptions and then it's like you're kind of iced out from Breece. And Breece was really good last year prior to his injury when he was sharing the load with like a million different running backs. And now it is very clear they want to get rid of Dalvin Cook, and it is very clear that Breece Hall is the guy. And again, Keenan Allen without Mike Williams in a great spot. James, and again, if you guys don't super chat, it's okay. It's okay. We'll still try to answer as many questions as possible. And yeah, someone said, no one ever says if it's PPR standard. My safe assumption is most of you guys play in PPR or half PPR. If you have a question about standard, make sure you include standard. Otherwise, I assume it's PPR, half PPR. PPR and half PPR are pretty similar. Standard, it's like a whole different fucking ball game, right? When you're asking a question. So, James, thank you for the super chat. Flex to Amari Cooper, Kendrick Bourne, or Michael Thomas. This is a good one. Amari Cooper, I worry about. And I don't worry about Amari Cooper because I think Amari Cooper's bad. I worry about Amari Cooper because I worry that Amari Cooper's quarterback, PJ Walker, or potentially Deshaun Watson aren't very good. But when push comes to shove, I think I would go ahead and play Amari Cooper here. And then I think I'm going to have to go with Michael Thomas. Kendrick Bourne has looked so good. Ugh. That sounded weird if you're fucking not listening or if you're not watching. So sorry about that. This is tough. Because Michael Thomas got lucky and scored. Besides that, he hasn't really done shit. Bourne's on fire. We're going to go with the guy who's on fire, actually. We're going to Amari Cooper and Kendrick Bourne. Brett, trade Keenan Allen and Pollard for A.J. Brown and Gibbs got Hurts. This is another close one. For me, I would go ahead and say no. I would say no because I'm a Gibbs truther. We talked about Gibbs all offseason. I was a guy that was banging the drum for Gibbs. I was screaming to the mountaintops like the guy in Ricola. You know, that's how much I was screaming. But man, oh man, I don't think once Montgomery comes back that they're going to fully commit to Gibbs. Do I hope that for my fantasy teams? No, as a David Montgomery guy. But I talked highly about Gibbs. I hope Gibbs has a great rest of his season. But again, I'm an A.J. Brown guy now. You just got to be. But I think Keenan and Pollard are the safer bets. I think you're taking unneeded risks when you already have a great running back and a great receiver when you go ahead and get a guy like Gibbs, who he might fuck around and be a top 5 running back this week. But then once Montgomery comes back, he might start plummeting down the rankings and be like a running back 23 weekly. And that's just not worth it for this trade. So personally, I would not trade Keenan Allen and Pollard for A.J. Brown and Gibbs. But I am starting to really like A.J. Brown. Zombino says Godwin or Olave half PPR. So it's pretty clear that Olave is a speedster as he was driving 35 miles an hour over the speed limit. It came out that he told the cop that he plays for the Saints, and the cop was like, I don't give a shit, pal. But I would have tried that too if I was Chris Olave, right? He wasn't drunk or anything, I don't believe. So he was just going fast, having a little bit of fun. And he says, hey, I'm the receiver for the Saints, and the guy didn't care. If I was the cop and like I arrested like Tyreek Hill as a Dolphins fan, like I pulled Tyreek Hill over, Tyreek Hill's going. He can just leave, it is what it is, right? If he's going 35 miles an hour, he's probably just running outside his car. But yeah, Olave did get in trouble with the law. He's now free. It's really nothing to worry about. Just thought it was something funny to mention, to talk about. You can watch the video. It's on Twitter. It's nothing that crazy, just like a talking point. Definitely would go with Olave, even despite the fact that Derek Carr has been pretty shit this season. He just continues to feed the ball to Olave and to Alvin Kamara. So even when Derek Carr goes out there, he's going to sail a couple over Olave. He's going to throw one at Olave's feet. He's going to miss him when he's like wide open, and it's going to be really frustrating. But I think there's a whole lot more reasons to be nervous about Godwin compared to Olave. So for that reason alone and the upside, I'm going with Olave in half PPR. Fall, what do you think about something like London and B-Rob for Kincaid? What kind of value could I get out of either? Who would you package for A-Chain? Oof. Something like London and B-Rob plus Kincaid. I think if you offered London, B-Rob, and Kincaid, you would get A-Chain in roughly 4 seconds. I think someone would accept that trade in half a second because there's a lot of people that are dealing with some serious down bad teams, right? You have A-Chain who's hurt, and you're just sitting there every week, and it feels like you're just getting shot up, like you're taking a million bullets because you have this guy on your team that if he was playing would be scoring like 25 points a game, and he's just chilling in your IR spot. So I think if you offer that straight up, you can get A-Chain, probably also another player. London, B-Rob, and Kincaid. I know B-Rob's on a bit of a downward spiral, but I think a lot of fantasy owners would still view him pretty highly. I think if you offered London, B-Rob, and Kincaid, you could probably get... Oof, that's such a good question. You could definitely get Devontae Adams. You could probably get a package of... What I would look to do is try to acquire Jacoby Myers. Oh, dude, if a team had Jacoby Myers and Waddle, that would be the perfect team to trade this to. I would try to get Jacoby Myers plus another piece from that team, and I think you make out like a bandit there. And straight up, I'd send that package, probably just London and B-Rob for A-Chain, and I think that would get accepted. Again, it is kind of hard to say exactly who like an owl, would be trading for because I can't see every single team in your league to know like which two guys I would package for. But again, if you're sending London, B-Rob, and Kincaid, you should be able to get a really solid piece for that. And you would definitely get A-Chain, 100%. Like, it's not even a worry of mine. White over Roshan. I agree. I'm really low on Rachaad White this week, but it's because, yeah, like Ron Real TV said, he is not effective at all. He is really good in bad match, like against shitty defenses, he's going to go crazy. Against good defenses, he's going to be useless. He's just kind of one of those guys. Tony, start 3, Godwin, Deontay Palmer, Zay, Puka Nacua, Numa, yay, and McLaurin. I would go Godwin. I'd go Nacua. You got to play Nacua. And then I'm going Terry McLaurin. I like Godwin a decent amount. He feels kind of safe. Nacua, definitely a top 10 receiver for me. And then, wait. It's between McLaurin and Zay Flowers. All right, I'm going to give you 2 answers. I would go Godwin. Personally, I'm going Godwin, Zay, and Nacua. I'm more of an upside player, assuming that's Zay Flowers. I like to hunt for the upside. I like Zay better than McLaurin, but McLaurin's safer. So if you want to be safe, you go Godwin, Nacua, McLaurin. If you want to be risky, you go Godwin, Zay, Nacua. Personally, I'm going with Zay, Nacua, and Godwin. Personally. Ryan Conway says, got offered Ridley and Downs for Kirk. Need a flex. Kirk, Hollywood Brown, Nico Collins, Myers, Madison, Deontay Johnson, Eckler, Jones, Brown, and Evans already in the lineup. That's a good-ass question. Ridley and Downs for Kirk. I'm a Ridley truther till I die. I'm a Ridley guy, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if he's going to be able to break out of this funk that he's in. Like, I hope he does, but I don't think it's a guarantee. And when it's not a guarantee, I have to start to worry. Now, again, I'm not sitting here telling you Calvin Ridley is washed because I think that kind of a statement is a little too heavy. Now, is it possible that he might be washed? Maybe, but he's also just not getting enough targets. So that's something to worry about. So I think I'm going to hold Christian Kirk. Because again, I like Downs, but I'm not like so high on Downs that I feel like you need Josh Downs. So I'm going to go ahead and do not do that trade. Hold on to Christian Kirk, which is crazy due to how high I was on Ridley in the offseason. Personally, I'm going to keep Kirk, and then for your flex, you've got a lot of options. But if you're just flexing one, I'm flexing Christian Kirk. It's close between Kirk, Myers, and Collins. I love Myers, but I don't like the matchup. That kind of scares me. So I just go Christian Kirk. He feels the safest. And if you need two flexes, it would be Kirk and Nico Collins. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, Kirk over Ridley right now. I'm keeping Kirk as well. Pick 2, London, Nico, or Godwin. I would go Godwin and Nico. White is 3.2 yards per carry this season. He gets 18 carries a game. I think he's a safe. I agree with him being a safe option against Buffalo. Should I start Kincaid or Hawkinson? Don't start getting a little crazy and benching Hawkinson. Play Hawkinson. Ridley over Kirk any day. I think Ridley's better than Kirk, but I don't know about for the fantasy season. Roshan Johnson or Roshan Sanders or Lockett. I would go Lockett. Isaac, thanks for the super chat. Trade Jacobs and Hawk for Hall, Ingram, and JSN. Love you too. All right. So essentially, this is Jacobs and Hawk for Hall and Ingram. That's how I would look at this. JSN is just a throw-in piece, right? JSN, when Metcalf's back, is like you don't really need him. But let's see here. Let's go with... Starting to worry about Jacobs. I'm not ready to say he's a fraud or something, but I am starting to worry. But because the trade involves Hawkinson, I don't think I could get rid of Hawkinson. I think Hawkinson is kind of in that tier of tight end where he's basically untradeable because of the fact that Hawkinson is such a game-breaking tight end. Ingram, he's a good tight end. He's a great tight end, right? You play him every week. He never really shits the bed for you, right? He just is good, right? But once you trade away Hawkinson, you're losing that upside of 25 points, 30 potential points, right? At the tight end position, which is week winning, right? That's a potential reason why you win your week. And a lot of the time, the tight end is what decides the matchup. So I would keep Jacobs and Hawk. I don't think this is a crazy trade to accept, but I would have to keep Jacobs and Hawk. So I'm not going to do that trade. Steve Garza, thank you for the super chat. Start Laporta or Kincaid. Again, we're trying to get kinky tonight with Kincaid, but I'm not benching Laporta after one piss poor performance while he's banged up. And it wasn't even that bad of a game. So I'm not ready to jump ship just yet on Kincaid. I'm not on Kincaid, on Laporta. Now, again, I'm a Kincaid guy. I'm going to keep banging the drum for Kincaid. I'm going to keep talking him up because now without Dawson Knox, it's just a great spot for him. But right now, I don't think that you could sit Laporta. I just don't think so. And this is not an uncommon question. I've seen this question a bunch on the videos because a lot of people have Laporta and, they're like, okay, I like Laporta, but he's a rookie. Let me get another piece of protection, right, for the squad. And they get Kincaid, which I understand. And I like Kincaid a lot. I really do. And I think this is a good matchup for him. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, I don't think you can sit Laporta. I just really don't think so. I just don't think so. Alrighty. All right. I got Lamar, Kelsey, and Pacheco for ETN, Laporta, 2, and DJ Moore. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid trade. Kinktown population, Nick, that's a fact. Thank you, no problem. Looking for 2 flexes. All right, well, you got to send your lineup so I can help you out. Peace on to you. Keep it coming, dude. Thank you. Having trouble deciding between White tonight or Brian Robinson against Philly in my flex. Good question. The Philly defense appears to be really solid against the run. They really locked up any opportunity that the Dolphins had of running the ball. Now, you might say, Nick, that's because the Dolphins O-line was down their center, left guard, left tackle. I would agree with that, but the defense of the Eagles has started to percolate a little bit more. So while I'm still a Brian Robinson guy, I think if you said, Nick, would you rather have Robinson or White for the rest of the season? I would lean with Brian Robinson. But for this week, tonight, Thursday night football, I would go with White against a pretty shit Buffalo Bills defense if we're keeping it a buck. So I would go Rashad White tonight over Brian Robinson. 100%. DeMarcado or Roshan Johnson? DeMarcado. Big Mac or Whopper? I'm going to be honest with you. Burger King is the one fast food place that tastes so much different depending on which one you go to. I definitely prefer the Big Mac because it's way more consistent, right? You go to a McDonald's, I could go to the one near my house. I could go to the one, I live in New Jersey. I go to fucking Connecticut, get a Big Mac. It tastes basically identical. I can go get a Whopper down the road by where the Burger King is by me, and then go to which sucks. The Burger King by me sucks. Then drive 20 minutes to a different Burger King, and the Whopper tastes like I don't know, like the Lord himself crafted it, right? It's just so different, like depending on where you go. McDonald's is much more safe. And yeah, I agree with Spock. Both are too expensive now. It's honestly crazy how expensive. Like I remember like being a kid and going to McDonald's. Now again, I wasn't paying for it. My parents obviously were. And now that I'm older, I'm the one buying the fucking Big Mac. And yeah, it is expensive. And that's why if you guys are fast food guys or you get fast food every once in a while, this is an interesting tidbit of information for you guys that probably most of you guys know. If you go to like Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, any of these places, download their app because the apps save you a lot of money. They give you a lot of deals. They give you free shit. And that's really the only reason why I would ever go to McDonald's is because like sometimes you get 2 Big Macs for $5, right? Paying $5 for one Big Mac is outrageous. But when you get 2 for $5, it's not as crazy. Again, you're going to end up like a fat bastard if you keep doing that, like myself. But it is kind of more worth it, at least if you have the app. McNuggets are good. The McNuggets are fire. McNuggets are fire. Traded away. Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson for Breece Hall. I think that's fine. Griffin. Amari Higgins, Deontay. What the fuck? Okay, sorry about that. Oh, I just did the completely wrong thing. I'm a buffoon. I'm a fool in love with you. All right, let me fix this. All right, I just fucked something up really bad. Pick 3. Can I get a Mick pick 2? Amari Higgins, Deontay Downs, Pierce. Amari, Deontay if he plays, and then Downs. Agreed about the Big Mac take. Instant sub. Thank you. I just did trade. It was Kirk and Brian Robinson for Aaron Jones, Hollywood Brown. Thoughts? I like that. I'm worried about Hollywood right now. But once Kyler comes back, you're going to be A-okay. A-okay. All right. Y'all remember the dollar menu? Yeah. I feel like the dollar menu was a thing just a couple of years ago, and now it's gone. Thanks, Obama. even though I don't think he's the reason why. If you guys remember, does anyone remember that joke? That was like really popular right when Obama got elected to just say, thanks, Obama. Should I trade Pollard again? I try not to get political on the channel, so that's obviously like a fucking joke. if you couldn't have picked that up. Should I trade Pollard and Kittle for Kelsey? No, I would not. I would not. Always stay hydrated. That's a fact. I got an agua right next to me. Agua. Godwin or London? I would go Godwin. Hey, Nick, should I start Pitts or Kincaid at tight end? I would go Pitts. I have to go for the sweet and sour. Oh, sweet and sour sauce is pretty good. I definitely like, they used to have the original sauce at McDonald's. That was way better. That was the best thing. That shit was amazing. Jeffrey, thank you for the super chat, my man. I'm going to take a sip of my water real quick, and I'm going to answer your question. Always have to mute the mic because for some reason, I can like someone could get smacked across the face, fucking Will Smith style, 5 feet away from me, and you wouldn't hear it. But if I start drinking the water, It sounds like you're listening to like a fucking mukbang or something. Like that's what you hear. Jeffrey. Hey man, what's up, Jeffrey? Should I start? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Should I start Foreman if I start Jacksonville D, or does that mess with my points? I would say no, because it's not necessarily correlated. It's not necessarily that crazy. Now, if you were like, I have to play Tyson Bagent, right? And then, oh wait, the Bears are playing the Jags, right? Or I'm not just talking at my ass, right? No, the Bears are playing the Chargers. What the fuck am I? Yeah, the Bears are playing the Chargers. So that should have no effect on the Jaguars defense. So you should be good. But just so that you guys are aware, you don't need to worry about playing your... Wait, 1, 2, 3. You don't have to worry about playing your defense against one of your players. Now, I would say if you had... And I'm going to fix myself because I look like I'm about to tell a fucking spooky story by a flashlight, by a campfire. But what I was trying to say here is that if you have, for instance, 2 guys on the same team and you're going up against that defense, you probably wouldn't want to start that player, that defense. But if it's just one guy, it doesn't really matter too much. Don't think about it too much. That's kind of how I think about things. That's how I would go about thinking about that. I'm going to fix myself now. Don't worry. I just had to take a picture or something on my screen. Shathid. All right. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about starting one player against your defense. It's like, but if you were to start Tua and you had Hill and then you're like playing the Patriots defense, that would be an insane move, in my opinion. So you should be good. Yeah, it's not going to fuck you up. Jeffrey, pick 2 for flex PPR, Boyd, Sutton, and Dobbs. Great question. Sutton for sure. Number 1 receiver, looked pretty decent against the Chiefs last time out. Definitely would lean with him. And then it's kind of more of a question mark for Dobbs versus Boyd. Now, Dobbs has been pretty hit or miss this season, but way more consistent than Boyd. So for me, this is kind of easy. I'm going Sutton and Dobbs, even if Love has looked a little shit. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Start 3 standard: Calvin Ridley, Tank Dell, Christian Watson, Josh Downs, Ramondre Stevenson, Amari DiMarcado. Other league, Waddle, Olave, Addison. Start 1. I would start Olave for your other league. And then start 3 would be Ramondre Stevenson, Calvin Ridley, and Christian Watson. Ramondre, Watson, Ridley, and then the other league would be Olave. So again, Ridley, Watson, Ramondre. Other league is Olave. Those are 2 pretty tough questions, I would say. Like, I don't think either of those are like straight fucking shaboink layups. Zach, thank you for the super chat. Trade Goff for Garrett Wilson. Other quarterbacks are Love and Fields. Current wide receivers are Lamb, Addison, and Devontae Smith. To be honest, I don't think that's a bad trade by any means, but let's be honest with you. You have Lamb, Addison, and Smith. If you're playing all 3 of those guys every single week, when are you ever going to play Garrett Wilson? Right? I know you probably want to get rid of one of your quarterbacks, and I get that. But I'd be more willing to move Goff for someone better, right? Someone that I'm actually confident in playing. Because Garrett Wilson's a guy, sure, you can throw him into your lineup, but am I ever going to feel very confident in Garrett Wilson? Like, in today's videos, in the videos this week, I was talking about how, yes, I do like Wilson this week, but I never feel even remotely confident in it. So what I would say is if you really want to do the trade, go ahead, right? I won't tell you that you're getting fleeced or something here if you do that trade, but I would look for someone better. With how good Goff has played, I think you should be able to at least be able to move your way onto a better player than Garrett Wilson, personally. You going to recite The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe? Actually, interesting. My final class in college was like poetry from whenever Edgar Allan Poe was alive, and I had to read like 1,000,000 poems. It was a winter course, so it was like really fast, and you had to do like 1,000,000 fucking assignments a week. Wanted to blow my brains out reading all of those things. But The Raven actually isn't that bad of a poem. Nevermore. Alrighty, and you know what sucks? That was the only class I needed, and it wasn't available in the fall of the previous year, the spring, the summer, the fall, or the spring of the next year. So I had to wait all the way. It was a winter class, so I had to wait all the way until the winter to take it. It was brutal. It was terrible. Never again. Never more. But back onto the question here from Isaac. Kenneth Walker, Pollard, and Jacoby, or ETN, Brees and Rashad Rice rest of season. I'd be trading away the Walker side. Kenneth Walker, Pollard, Jacoby. You're getting ETN, Brees, Rashi, Rice. Ooh. I think that's gotta be a no for me, dog. I think that's gotta be a no for me. Now, the reason why it's a no for me is because I don't think Jacoby Myers is a throw-in. I think Jacoby Myers is a legitimate player that a lot of weeks should be started in your lineup, right? So Rashi Rice is just a throw-in, right? Rashi Rice is a guy that, let's be honest with you, if 2 weeks from now, if Rashi Rice was on the waiver wire of your league, would you be that surprised, right? Would you be that surprised with Mahomes just spreading the ball out to everyone that we end up with a situation where he doesn't do amazing? I would not personally be surprised. So that leads me to be more in the camp of believing that I would probably keep Walker, Pollard, and Jacoby Myers. I was so out on ETN in the offseason. I thought that Tank Bigsby was coming there to potentially get the goal line work, to get the receptions, and I have never been more fucking wrong in my life. Never. But even though I like ETN a lot, even though I like Breece Hall a lot, I don't think you can make that trade because I think it is so much of a drop-off from Jacoby to Rice, and I don't think Pollard or Kenneth Walker are that far away from being ETN, right? And I think Pollard, Walker, I'd definitely rather have Pollard rest the season than Breece, so it's really close. But again, the fact that you're losing Jacoby and getting Rashi Rice would be enough for me not to do it. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Michael, Amari Cooper, D-Hop, KJ Osborne, best option. So D-Hop is going to be dealing with a quarterback hell this week, right? We are going to be seeing him in a situation where it's going to be Will Levis, and they're potentially going to pivot halfway through the fucking game to a different quarterback in Malik Willis. If you've watched Malik Willis play in the NFL, he doesn't have it. And again, do I think if maybe you gave him a whole season, he could figure it out? Maybe. He was really good in college. But in a one-game sample size, if he has to come in for Will Levis, shit has completely hit the fan if that's the case. So for me, I can't start D-Hop. I don't love Amari Cooper, but I'd rather play Amari Cooper than KJ Osborne because KJ Osborne is fucking stone hands. So we're going to go ahead and go with... Oh, wait one second. We are going to go ahead and go with Amari Cooper. Next question here. Which one do I start? The terrible troll. Josh Jacobs, Nico Collins, or Calvin Ridley? This is a scenario where I would probably just go ahead and play Josh Jacobs, even though I'm worried about Josh Jacobs. I like Nico Collins a lot this week. Oh, man. Oh, man. Not again. This is a tough one because I think you might end up feeling like a fool if you start the wrong one, because I think both Jacobs and Collins, like, they both have pretty significant upside, but both of these guys have proven this season that they can be very up and down, and that there is going to be games this season where they both potentially end up at the exact same time being busts. But the matchup against the Raiders for Jacobs scares me far more than the matchup that Nico Collins has. So I think at the end of the day here, we are just going to go with... we're going to have to go with Nico Collins. I don't think I could play Josh Jacobs there, even though I like Jacobs. I think he's a better player. Like rest of the season, I'd rather have Jacobs than Nico Collins. But I think in this scenario, based upon the matchup, I would go Nico Collins. So thank you for the super chat. We're going Nico Collins. Nico, cousin, let's go bowling. James says, should I trade Chase and Henry for ETN and Kelsey? Survey says yes. 100%. This is the best trade deal in the history of trade deals. Let me tell you. That was a terrible Trump impression. But that was a terrible impression. But yeah, 100% would do that trade. 100%. I'm going ETN and Kelsey. I'd rather have ETN and Kelsey. 100%. I don't even think it's up for debate, to be honest with you. I think it's pretty clearly ETN and Kelsey. I think you're upgrading. You're getting, like, you're losing Henry, who's kind of risky. You're losing Chase, and you're getting the best tight end in the NFL and one of the best running backs. To me, it's like stealing fucking candy from a baby. 100% doing that, James. 100%. Next question here from Ryan. Ryan says, big matchup this week. Kincaid at tight end, Laporta in flex, or Laporta at tight end and Rice in flex. Just feel like it's a Kincaid night. What should I do? LOL. So when I think about this situation, when you're trying to compare like Rice versus Kincaid versus Laporta, I think Laporta is the safest bet by a quarter mile. I think Laporta is by far the safest bet. Laporta has seen so many targets this season. I know he was in a bit of a slump last week, but he got a bunch of targets. He was banged up entering into the game. I kind of cooled down a little bit on Laporta as we got closer to Sunday. Now, again, he was still must start. He could be on a fucking peg leg like his name was Patchy the Pirate, and he'd be a must start. But I kind of cooled down a little bit on him. With that said, Laporta's the safest. Kincaid and Rice have equal amount of risk, in my opinion, because again, we talk about this every week. The Chiefs spread the love. They spread the ball around. They're like Oprah. You get the ball, you get the ball, you all get the ball. And what that does is it leads me to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to playing Rice every single week. So I'm with you. I'm leaning Kincaid and Laporta. It's close between Kincaid and Rice, but I think I'm going to go with the upside of Kincaid. Again, it really does feel like a huge Kincaid week. So I'm going to go Kincaid and Laporta. That is how I would lean with things tonight. So we're going to go Laporta, and we are going to go with Kincaid. Next up here, start Godwin or Scary Terry at the flex. I'd play Terry. Do I start the Bills or the Chargers or the Giants? I'd probably play the Giants personally. That was Trump. Yeah, it was a bad impression. Sad. I did a good one in the video the other day, but I don't remember which video it was. Someone enjoyed it at least. I got one comment that thought it was funny. So, Andrew, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate you. What can we really expect from Jeff Wilson on your Dolphins? Him or Singletary since Ford is out? What I expect is that his workload gets ramped up more this week compared to last week. What I also expect is the second that Devin A-Chain comes back, that he has to. You cannot start Jeff Wilson because it's going to be the A-Chain and Mostert show. Now, every once in a while, when they're all back, we're going to eventually see a game where Jeff Wilson goes nuclear. It might even be this week. But if I'm being honest with you, if you need one to start this week without Ford, your best bet is probably just to play Singletary, right? You know Singletary is going to get you like 8 points probably, right? You just know that, and it's a great matchup. Whereas Jeff Wilson, he could literally get 1 point like he did last week. He could get 25 points. That also wouldn't be that crazy. But I'd probably just go with Singletary. Again, I'm one of the biggest Singletary haters on earth. I was the biggest Singletary truther last year, and he bent me over a table, so I'm done with him. It's like those memes with the Indian guy, and it's like, friendship ended with this guy. This guy's my new best friend now. That's an old school meme. If you know, you know. If you're a fucking someone who studies memes like I used to, just look at a lot of memes, think it's funny, you would know what I'm talking about. So this week, I'd go Singletary. It feels disgusting to say, but I'd go Singletary. I think Singletary just is so much safer. I don't think Singletary has anywhere near the amount of upside that Jeff Wilson has. So I'll give it to you like this. If it's my team, I'm playing Singletary to get the safe bet. But if you're really hunting for points, right, you feel like, oh, I need like 15 points for my running back, just play Jeff Wilson and pray to the fucking heavens above that we end up seeing Jeff Wilson get more touches. Thanks, Nick. No problem. Was offered KW and Waddle or Addison for Cup and Amon Ra and Ramondre. I would rather have Cup. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. I think I would rather have the Waddle, Addison, Walker side. So I don't think I'm doing that trade. PPR pick 3, Ridley, Addison, Godwin, Higgins, Deontay, and Myers. I would go Addison, Godwin, Myers. Pick 2, Wilson, Rice, Ridley, Bourne, Watson. I would go Wilson and Ridley. Who do I start as my running back 2? Gus, Pierce, Moss, or Rocha? I go Gus. Pollard or Mike Evans? I would go Pollard. Start Bijan or Lamb? I'd go Lamb. Thanks, Nick. No problem. Start one in standard, Hunt or Stevenson? I'd go Stevenson. Because it's standard. And even, to be honest, Hunt hasn't caught a lot of passes this year, which is a little bit shocking, I would say, right? Hunt not catching more passes is a little bit shocking. So we'll see how things iron out. I mean, not Rashad White. I was the ringleader of the bandwagon for Ramondre Stevenson. Even when Zeke signed, I was like, everything's going to be okay. Don't worry. Don't panic. And then, obviously, he ends up sucking. So, at the start of the season, or he starts the season fine, then he starts sucking, and now he's back out the suck. So, I think I'd go Stevenson, personally. I'm hoping that Dolphins defense completely locks him up, obviously, as a Dolphins fan. Purdy is probably out. Yeah, Purdy feels out, but I still think there's somewhat of a chance that Purdy plays. Again, I'm not saying that's like the most likely outcome. It's not, but it is possible. I think because he practiced today, right? Or am I crazy? Let me read that. If I sit up, I don't know how people. I have bad like posture. I don't know how people sit up like this, like all day, like just postured up like this. Like I'm a little bit more relaxed. Like I don't think my back is curved like Kim Kardashian or something. But all right, let's Purdy. Yeah, Purdy did play with a concussion. He got hurt on a QB sneak. Brock Purdy enters concussion protocol. Brock Purdy unlikely to play, but he returned to practice today. I don't think he's going to play, but yesterday I thought there was like a 10 or 5% chance that Purdy would play. Now it feels like there's like a 25% chance he would play. But again, I still don't think I would be betting on that, right? I would just be thinking maybe it's a possibility, but more than likely not. To Purdy. Nick, who am I flexing? Downs, Pittman, or Ingram? Kincaid, Metcalf, and Chase are starting. I would flex Pittman. Friendship ended with Mudasire. That's it. That is it right there. That's the fucking meme. We got a genius here. Luke's a genius. What a guy. That's hilarious. That meme used to make me laugh so hard. All right, next question. That's what I pretty much expect. I still have Ridley in. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, the second that's what I told people last week, right? I told people to start Ridley, and then people will always be in the comments like, Nick, you fucking idiot. Why'd you tell me to play Calvin Ridley? Calvin Ridley sucks, Nick, don't you know? Right? And then the second you sit Calvin Ridley, the second you sit him, this man is going to score 30 fantasy points. I'm not even kidding. The second you throw him on your bench, and I'm going to advise a lot of people to bench him this week, he is going to go straight up nuclear, 25 kill streak, Modern Warfare 2. Walker the third or Kareem Hunt? I'd go with Walker the third. Make sure you guys hit the like button on today's stream. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy. Please. Hit that like button too. Anything helps me. After anything you guys do, if you hit the like button, you subscribe, or you leave a comment, those are the 3 best ways to help me. Unless you just Venmo me $1,000. That's actually the best thing. But in reality, hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, leaving comments is what helps me. And again, I hope. Never mind. I'm not even gonna have to say anything because everyone here, I don't have to fucking correct myself. Everyone here knows when I'm joking, right? I don't actually think anyone here is gonna fucking Venmo me $100. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy. So Walker the third. So Walker the third. A disappointment greater than Ridley has been Lockett. I don't think Lockett's been that disappointing because I'm going to be honest with you. I liked Lockett in the offseason, but I knew this was going to happen. Lockett's always been like this. Always super hit or miss. So, again, I'm definitely more shook by Ridley because I knew Lockett would do this, right? Lockett, the reason why I liked Lockett was in the range he was going. He is a guy that's like a firecracker. Baby, you're a firework. You know, some weeks he's going to blow up, have a huge game. Some games he's going to blow your fingers off like your name was Jason Pierre-Paul, right? You never know which week it's going to be, but you still play him regardless. And that's what makes fantasy football so fun, right? All right. I saw for the holidays, there's a PS5 package of Spider-Man 2 game. Thought of you, lol. Hopefully you're on the nice list this year. I hope so. I have an Xbox. I have the Xbox Series X. I got it like a couple weeks after it came out. I bought it because I couldn't get a PS5 for like $500. And I really want a PS5 so I can play Spider-Man. But I don't think I'm going to cough up that amount of money for the PlayStation just to play one game when I already have an Xbox. But I have considered it. I have my laptop's not the best that I'm on right now, but I did play the other 2 Spider-Man games on there. But the problem is the Spider-Man games won't be coming out to PC again. If you don't play video games, you're not going to give half of a fuck. But what I'm saying is it's not going to come to PC for like another year, which is just sucks because like I'm a TikTok head. I'm on TikTok all the time. And if you don't want anything spoiled, like you can't go on TikTok, like they spoil everything. I like almost saw the ending of the game and I just fast forwarded through it really quick because people on TikTok just have no lives, right? They're just doing whatever they want. And it's super frustrating because they just post fucking spoilers to everything. Like you'll see like the ending of a movie that came out the morning of on TikTok. So if you're a movie head, video game person, you probably know what I'm talking about if you use TikTok. Nick the Nigerian Prince. Yeah, I'm a Nigerian Prince. If you have Ayuk or Kittle, don't sit them because Darnold's playing. I agree with that. I would definitely not sit them. But you have to kind of understand that the floor is lava. The floor is significantly lower. Right? It's just nowhere near as safe. But again, you don't necessarily need safety to win in fantasy football. Back in the day, I was definitely more someone that preached the idea of safety in fantasy football, trying to be as safe as possible, kind of wrapping a rubber around the squad. And then I realized, like, you don't win your league just having the most safe players in your lineup every single week. You need that potential boom upside, right? And even with mono man Sam Darnold, I think that I would definitely consider Ayuk and Kittle to have that huge upside. Yeah, I definitely expect Lockett to be inconsistent. Tyler Davis, thank you for the super chat. My man. Don't talk to my man like that. Your questions are underneath. Xbox is better, has a lot more announced games for the next coming years. Yeah, I am not a huge gamer. I'm going to answer Tyler's question in 1 second. I play Madden. I play Call of Duty. I play UFC. and then the story games that I like. So I'm not like a huge gamer anymore, if I'm being honest with you. I used to be when I was much younger, but as I've gotten older, it's just kind of taken a backseat, right? Like, because either I could play video games or make these videos, and I just have way more fun making the videos. And that's how much I love you. Tyler Davis says, pick 2. Thank you for the super chat. Pick 2, DJ Moore, T. Higgins, Josh Downs. Pick 1, DeMarcado, Akers, Singletary, Roshan. I know, sad face. Yeah, the sad face emoji there. The sad face emojis like on YouTube, I feel like that just looks better than the regular one that you get like on text message. Like that's a real, I can't even do it. I look fucking stupid, but yeah. Okay. DJ Moore for show. I want to try. I'm sorry if I just breathed into the mic like that, but I don't trust Higgins. I don't trust Higgins enough. I don't trust him enough. I'm going Downs. We're going Downs. We're going down for real. We're going Downs and more. And then we're going Imari DiMarcado, the Italian stallion running back of the Arizona Cardinals. The reason why I don't trust T. Higgins is because he hasn't been trustworthy at all this season. And because of the fact that Joe Burrow has been so hit or miss this season, I expect coming out the bye, fucking cameras out of focus, everything. But that actually worked, which is crazy. But what I would say is I think coming out the bye, they're going to be hot. But it's not a guarantee. So I would rather go DJ Moore and Downs. And then hopefully Higgins has a good game. Then going forward, you can play him. And then DeMarcado, I think, is the safest bet with the most amount of upside in that backfield. Jason says, full PPR. Thank you for the Canadian dollars. Canada, eh? Full PPR, pick 2, Flowers, Evans, DJ Moore, and I have Ridley, but was thinking of sitting him. That's a great question. Based upon the receivers you have, I would sit Calvin Ridley. Based upon the receiver squad that you have, I would sit Calvin Ridley. So we are going to go with Evans. Lock him in. Lock him in. Lock Evans into your lineup. And then it's a bigger question at hand here. So you lock Evans in, then I would go Flowers, personally. So I'm going Evans and Zay Flowers. I think DJ Moore is a little bit safer, but I'd go Flowers because I like his matchup. So Evans and Flowers for me. I would definitely sit Ridley down. So we're going Evans and Flowers. I love story games. I used to never play story games when I was young. And now it's like really all that I play. Legendary 1, thank you for the super chat, my man. I play dating sims. I can't quit my waifus. Is DeMarcado actually Italian? I don't think so. Let's find Legendary 1's comment here. I don't think he's actually Italian. At least off the top of my head, I don't think so. But doesn't DeMarcado sound Italian? All right. I find Legendary 1's comment. Dude, it is fucking getting hot out. In New Jersey, it was freezing for weeks. I'm talking about you go outside and your nipples are like on diamond cutting mode, right? But now you go outside, you're fucking sweat through your shorts. I'm wearing pants right now, like not actual pants, they're like joggers. They're green. And I'm wearing a sweatshirt, and it's a little too hot. I'm keeping it a buck. Legendary Juan. I want this drink and another one. I want this life, a legendary one. That's a Drake song, I think. All right, Legendary 1 said start 2, Hunt, Foreman, Walker, Henderson, Warren, Hubbard. All right, Walker did not participate in practice. I assume he plays, though. Assuming he plays, the answer is Walker and Hunt. If Walker doesn't play, your answer is Hunt and Foreman. Pretty simple there, but not the most simple question. I like Foreman a lot, but I would definitely play Walker and Hunt ahead of him. Don't talk to my man like that. Andrew, what's the final score tonight? What is the final score tonight? We're going to go Bills 24, Bucks 21. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be real close. And I don't think the Bills are going to cover, but there is a chance that the Bills are just bam, 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 blowing the back out of the Bucs. But they haven't shown that recently, which is what makes me a little bit more cautious on that. One Doge Creator, thanks for the super chat. And then Kenneth Walker, ETN, rest of the season, ETN. One Dose Creator's question was flex Kincaid, Pitts, or Watson. I'm flexing Kincaid. I want to play Christian Watson, but love me tender, love me sweet has not fed him the ball like I thought he would. And I want to see it before I play him. Now, again, I think Watson might be a great buy low. I think Watson might be a guy that shows up and has a good game, but that's just how I think of things. All right. So, yeah, I would definitely go Kincaid, even though I like Watson a lot. Oh, man. Jalen Ramsey is making his return to the National Football League on Sunday against the Patriots for the Dolphins. Feels great, man. Feels great. Just got to make a tweet real quick for the 2,000 people that follow me on Twitter. I've always made this joke, but it's funny that like I have 30,000 almost YouTube subscribers, like 29,000. And I can't get like Twitter followers, which doesn't matter. I don't actually care, but that's just something I've always said. But yeah, definitely would play Kincaid over that group of players. Hunter, thank you for the super chat. I would go ahead and Stroud or Lawrence. Let me pull up my rankings. I have Stroud one spot ahead of Lawrence. So I'd go Stroud. And then Wilson, Pittman, or Collins. Stack it up. Stroud, Collins, lock it in. Stroud, Collins, lock it in. Stroud and Collins, lock it in. You're probably the least toxic Finn fan I've seen. Had to put it out there. No, I get pretty mad about the games, but again, I don't think the Dolphins fan base is that bad, to be completely honest with you. But there's bad fans on every team. There are fans of even the nicest teams that are just like there's Lions fans, right? Lions are like a nice team you'd think of, and there's like dick Lions fans, right? So that's just how I kind of see it. I'm from New Jersey. Yeah, I live in North Jersey. Ref 17 plus the 10 Bills get it their own. That's funny. The refs have been taken over in the NFL, especially last week. So maybe we'll see this week they're more hands off. Staying back. I think that's possible. Goddard over Kincaid 100%. That's a question I've got a lot too this week. Rashad White or Johnson? I'd go White. I would go White. Locked. Fins up, baby. Go Dolphins. Go Dolphins, baby. I'm a pop star, but that shit ain't bubble gum, yeah. Need 2 flexes to start. 12-man PPR. Mixon, Stevenson, Pierce, Higgins, or Palmer. Mixon and Stevenson. Just for the weekly routine. What's up, Tyron? Looks pretty good. I made that face to scare you. It's looking pretty good here. I would give you a solid 8.5 out of 10. I'm a Bengals fan. Cincy fan bases are only really toxic. Yeah, that makes sense. Towards the other franchise. Their own franchise. That makes sense. Aloha, bro. Do or die, Stroud or Carr. I'd go Stroud. Zach Wilson is being called out for being on vacation with his girlfriend during the bye week. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a damn? I didn't think he was into women that are his age. From that picture, that one looked his age. I thought he was into the older women. Pick 2. Tim, thank you for the super chat. I'm starting Chase, full PPR. Wilson, Rice, Ridley, Bourne, Watson. And which defense? Seahawks, Falcons, Finns, Browns. Mahomes is in at quarterback. Great question. Great question. So we're going to consult the rankings real quick on the defenses. And then I'm going to answer your other question. And then we're going to go to Cammy Cam real quick before we get out of here. You give love a bad name. All right. I'm thinking I like the Browns the best. Yeah, I definitely go Browns. So Browns defense, and then I would go Ridley, and I would go Wilson. So Ridley and Wilson. The receivers are kind of suspect, but I'm going Ridley and Wilson. And then I'm going Browns. I definitely have strong conviction on the Browns. The reason why I don't love Rice over those guys is because, again, Rice, they spread the ball out a ton. Bourne, pretty hit or miss. Watson, pretty hit or miss. I think Wilson and Ridley are your safest bet. Again, even Ridley's hit or miss, but I just think the upside's so much higher. Cammy Cam, need a running back 2 and a flex. Thank you for the super chat. Javonte, Chubb, Amari, DK, Downs. I would go ahead and go with... Well, he can't play Chubb because he's out for the season. Cannot play Chubb. So I would go... If DK plays, I'm playing DK. If DK doesn't play... All right, we're going Javonte at running back. That's a lock. And then we're going Amari. We're going Javonte and Amari. We're not going to overthink this. Javonte and Amari. We're not going to get cute. We're not going to overthink. We're going Amari and we're going Javonte. One Dos Creator. Thank you for the super chat. Right here, let me scroll down. Pitts or Watson. Also, Schultz or Kincaid. I would play Watson over Pitts, and I would play Schultz over Kincaid. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, Hubbard. Okay. Let me go back. That's okay. I would play Hubbard over... No, I'm playing Javonte. And I'm playing Amari. Same answer. Javonte and Amari. Is Tyreek going to play? It would appear so. Rashad White, good to start? Yes. Good luck this weekend, everyone. Good luck. Very nice. Good luck to everyone in chat. Oh, man. I've got some lineups that are in dire need of getting fixed. Hulk smash yo mom. White or Ayuk, please, non-PPR. You got 3 minutes. It's okay. I got you in 3 seconds. You're going to play Ayuk. You cannot sit Ayuk. I don't give a fuck if Sam Darnold's the quarterback. Hulk smash your mom. I don't care if you're the quarterback. I don't give a fuck if you're the quarterback because Ayuk is going to ball regardless. He's going to be balling. Easy money. Go Ayuk. Easy money on Ayuk. Go Ayuk. 100%. And yeah, I meant to say Chuba Hubbard if I said the wrong thing. But yeah, 100% Ayuk. Don't overthink that. Don't overthink that. Do not overthink that. All right. I would go Ayuk. I'm playing Gabe over Watson. Yes. And yeah, Ayuk over White. And then Marvin Lewis, my boy Marvin, who's got the same name as the former head coach of the Bengals. Standard. He's got Jacobs, Taylor Swift, Kyron, Herbert, Warren, Spears at running back. Olave, Waddle, Thomas, Downs. Should I trade Jacobs for Adams? See, the reason why I paused is because you're going from Raider to Raider, and the Raiders as a whole are just kind of gross. They're just kind of gross. So, based upon the receivers you have and the running backs you have, I think you're probably... I'm doing it. I'm getting Davante Adams. I feel way more confident in Davante Adams. I'm going to say it. I'm doing that trade. I'm getting Davante Adams. Bye-bye, Josh Jacobs. You're gone, pal. We're going from Davante. We're getting Davante Adams, baby. See you later, Josh Jacobs. Davante Adams on the squad. Let's go, Davante Adams, baby. Thank you guys for watching today's stream. I appreciate all of you guys. That's a close trade, Marvin, but I would go for Adams. I appreciate all of you guys deeply from deep down. the depths of my heart, again, it's just not going to focus, right? Why would it? And it does. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I love you guys. Javante or White, Spock, Rashad White or Johnson, Rashad White. Game's on. All right, my fellow champions and future champions. Let's get that W. Eat that W. Kareem or Godwin, I would go with Kareem. Adios, amigos. Adios. Have a nice one, guys. If you have any more questions, just ask them in the comment section after the video. Ashton, Martin, pick 3. Deontay, Pickens, Ridley, Flowers, Higgins, Myers. I'd go Myers, Ridley, and Flowers. Yes, I would do that, Alicia. D-Hop and JT for Bijan. No, hold JT. Who would you start between Roschon, Hubbard, Henderson, Hunt? I would start Hunt. Any updates you can give on that job you were going for? Yeah, I didn't end up getting the job. Sad face emoji. But it is what it is, right? You win some, you lose some. I went on 2 interviews. Wasn't good enough. But it is what it is, you know? Full PPR, Najee, DeMarcado, or Spears. I'd go Najee. No, your lineup looks good. And then full PPR, pick 3, Amari, Rice, Mixon, Henderson, Palmer, Downs. I would go Amari Cooper, Downs, and Palmer. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. I got to go. I'm going to the bar to watch the game with my friends. See you guys later. And thank you, Caitlin. I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. As always, good boy. And again, if you have any more questions, just comment them. Not in the chat here, but like when the stream ends, you can comment in the comment section, and then I can go on my phone and answer you. So I don't have to sit on stream for any longer. Gracias. Adios, mis amigos and amigas. Love you guys. Have a great one.